Hello. Good evening. Happy Easter. Whatever you think your weekend is. Hopefully you're enjoying it wherever you are. Trying to come up with topics. Me and Cindy always try to figure out things, and for everybody, it's what is your reality? For me, I perceive things way different than most people because I spent a lot of my life trying to figure out or understand things. So I read lots, went a lot of places, sat with lots of people trying to get a concept, some sort of structure I can look at to figure out where the truth is. So I think that's part of the adventure of life. But when you get to certain points and you find certain beliefs, what do you do with that? And do you want to teach other people, or you just learn it for yourself? Natives have lots of different ways of looking at reality. If you go and study the Sikh culture, you go and study different things in India, they have lots of other ways of looking. You got the Tibetans, they have their way. Tibetans see their way through their Buddhist practices. Christians see theirs through their version. And right now we're in a reality that's ending and changing. And as the energy gets more and more where it fluctuates, you see and you connect different things. And it's like, where do you want to go with it all? And it's like right now for me, it's like, where am I gonna go now that I've figured all I have figured out? And what do I want to do with my life? And what do I want to create? Because if the old 3D is going, then what's the 4th and 50? What's the structures and how do we play in that? How do we look at that reality and make our decisions and follow that path? Because everything around us is telling where we're wrong. You see people struggling in all kinds of ways, and yet still inside people have a belief. People still believe there's something in the future they gotta attain, they gotta find, and they need to integrate something. Hello everybody that's joining. Just gonna grab my pillow here. Oh, I hate chairs that lean backwards. It's so wrong. This morning I was reading this book. So I've been reading this book to help people get answers. And this morning there was a part here. It's trying to help people understand the brain. Like, it's talking about time jumpers, and throughout the billions of years people have been on this planet, where people have jumped in and out of time. Hey Danny Jackson. Hello everybody that's coming on. So this morning I was reading about trying to help people understand these different things, and there was a part in here I found very interesting, and it has to do with the belly area. So down here I'm just going to read this, and it says, As family of light, you are required to know and understand a panoramic view of existence that at this time too few humans can grasp and maintain. The book of earth will come alive in your eyes, in your memories, and in your bellies. Your belly is thought to be your body's second brain. Actually, it is the body's primary brain. So they say this one here is really the brain, not this one. Begin to trust your belly. Imagine that the intuitive part of yourself feels from there. So all of us, we have intuition. We get these things that sort of gives us a little ideas or understandings and things. So we feel from this area. You must learn to use all of the brain in your cranial area as well as the brain in your belly. So you got to use this and this. The feeling places where you identify and relate with the outside world. This is the key to producing frequencies of love. If you do not permit yourself to be honest with yourself and to deal honestly with the simple things in life, then how can you produce love? Instead, you will produce resentments because you will not mean what you say. Do you understand? By naming and dealing with the feelings that arise in this center, you can always move back to love by addressing what is really occurring. Your ancestors faced this challenge many times as they dealt with the gods who came here and wanted to be the force of change for humans. Always, as we have said, fear, war, anger, victimhood, bloody deaths, killing, rape, pillage, power over others seems to be the path chosen. So for a lot of people, they don't connect here. Like I say, they don't connect here to one of these points. And if you really look at everything, the first place we ever put anything is into our stomachs. And everything that affects us starts here. A lot of people, as they get older, they start realizing their digestion doesn't work good. And when your digestion doesn't work good, then your livers don't work good. If your liver's not working good, then your eyes are going bad. And just different things happen to the body. And I think we're going to go back to really healing the stomach area, and we're going to make it way more healthier. And that's going to change the way we feel and the way we do things. And this is where I say, what are you putting in this holographic machine? Because whatever you put in there is going to make you perceive reality different. Like in this book, it's trying to say we've come out of the age of Pisces, we're going into the age of Aquarius. Well, I believe we're in the age of Aquarius. We're just at the start of it. And that's where science is proving a lot of things. It's trying to help us to see reality different. Trying to remove superstition, trying to remove a lot of different kinds of things that are superstition or there's no evidence to it. Because everybody wants evidence. Because when you have evidence, it's very easy to do something, trust and believe it. But if you don't have that, then what is it you're going to believe? And the perception of reality is really, really based on that. And I think that's something people need to sit with. I mean, every time I go to a different form of a belief system, I want to understand what they're perceiving. I want to know why they're seeing that way. I want to understand the concepts behind it. Like today we were driving down the street, we had to go shopping to pick up some stuff for supper. So we're going down the road and I see all these Buddhist flags hanging across this front yard. And I told Cindy, I says, oh, there's Buddhists here. And she's driving along, she doesn't see any Buddhists. She says, oh, I missed it. I says, no, those flags. They want the whole world to know that they're Buddhists. I'm like, do they really understand the depth of Buddhism? Buddhism is a way of life. And there's so many kinds of things. If you go into Buddhism, they got lots of different gurus. They got a lot of different teachers in Buddhism. They don't all just follow the Dalai Lama. They all follow lots of different teachers. It's like in native spirituality, there's lots of different teachers. There's a lot of different practices. And you can choose one practice and put your life and follow along that, or you can go into a lot of different practices. Buddhism is the same way. I mean, Buddhism is the word, everybody is under that category. And whoever you're following is going to make you see the world that they see it. It's like if you're a Christian and you choose to be a Seventh-day Adventist, they're going to teach you how to see the world from their point of view. When you're a Roman Catholic, they train you to see it from their point of view. So your reality is based on those things, on those teachings. And a lot of people don't want to accept these teachings anymore. They don't really work for them. And there's too many things that are crumbling and all kinds of different things. Hey, in innovative design. How's the Nuvik starting to warm up? Oh, you moved to Edmonton? I think the last time you were on, you said you moved to Edmonton, but maybe you're back in Nuvik. Yeah, and there's a lot of flat earthers and stuff like that. Like me and Cindy watched, was it Anthony Shin?
Yeah, Anthony Shin Productions.
Yeah.
He interviewed Darius Wright.
Yeah, so we watched Anthony Shin production, and Darius Wright was saying the earth is flat. Oh yeah, hopefully you're, like I say, there's lots to learn to live in Edmonton. I lived there for quite a few years, so learning the bus systems, learning lots of things, and if you're going to get working at then learning to get around the city and navigate and do things. With Darius, he said he had this death experience and he went into this higher realm and he saw his view and why he believed in the flat earth. And like I say, you look out there and you see everything is round, nothing is flat. Because if the earth is flat, why on the other side of the earth is people, it's dark, it's night, they're sleeping. If it was flat, we'd all have sun all the time at the same time. So this flat earth concept can't really work. And you notice as the sun goes along, it gets darker back here. And the light starts getting darker and darker as the sun is disappearing. But if the earth is flat and the sun is shining, how does it get dark? It doesn't. It just keeps shining. It doesn't. There's no night. And everything is flat and it's just going around like this. So there shouldn't be anybody sleeping at a different time. It just doesn't work. Like there's a lot of things that disprove the flat earth. And like I say, they have all the evidence, but there's still people out there that want to say the earth is flat. And that was a reality that the church has brought in to keep people in fear. So I think these people who believe in the flat earth still believe in a lot of fear and a lot of silliness. Yeah, but this dome thing, it doesn't work. It doesn't fit in with the flat earth. They put all these things in there. And they're just scared people trying to come up with a silly concept is the way I look at it. I mean, you look at everything. You look at even the 4 seasons. You look at every last thing and they just want to find something to put there just so you will find a way to agree. And it just creates fear and things. It's all silly. And the more we go into the future and the more there are reality proof, it's going to be harder to believe in these things that are not true. And like this book here, this Family of Light, it has really lots of good answers, really lots of truth about the ancient past, about us as human beings carrying all this knowledge inside all our cells. Every cell has knowledge. Our DNA has all kinds of stuff if you know how to go in and tap in. And you're looking at billions of cells, so if you go into one cell, it's going to show you all kinds of stuff. You go in another one, it'll show you different things. And we are the most amazingly designed thing there is, but people don't know how to tap into that. People are just playing with stuff. Like I say, a long time ago, there were reasons and things that would force people to go really, really deep into stuff. Survival was the biggest one. So learning how to meditate and go really deep into meditation and survive into the future to help everybody. Because a community worked together to survive, because one person couldn't do it alone. You had other tribes out there that would massacre and destroy if you were weak. So you had to rely on everybody in your community. Everybody in your community had to rely on you. And all of you worked to survive. So you would all use your abilities and gifts to carry that out. And you would have a shaman or a medicine man that can see things in the future to help people. Like, where are the animals going to be? Where would you go to harvest enough resources to keep yourself healthy, your tribe, your village, until the spring comes along, then move into the next one? And like I say, you go back billions of years. We've been on this planet for a long, long, long time, but people still believe we only just came around at just 500,000 years ago. It's not true. There's much evidence out there that we've been on this planet way longer than they want us to accept and agree with. And the churches in the 1600s, they brought in a whole bunch of foolishness and they got people to believe it. Then they destroyed all the evidence, like trying to get rid of the evidence of the giants, all kinds of different things. So we couldn't question what they were trying to make us believe. So perception is a really, really big thing. And I think right now we're going back into this nomadic survival state, because the earth is going to do a lot of things and people want to survive. And the earth is trying to open everybody's abilities, gifts, and other kinds of things so they can do that. And some people, like I say, they will reincarnate and they will get it in the next round. It's not everybody's going to do it this time, even if they understand things, because some people are too stuck in the old. And you need to unprogram and reprogram everything. And some people like the way their whole life is. They're comfortable in all of that. And I think it's our comforts that sometimes becomes our enemy. And I think that's why I like the way I grew up very nomadic. I never really had a home. I always moved. I'd stay in Inuvik for a while, Klavik, Inuvik, and then I'd go up to McPherson, back to Inuvik. And I just stayed all over and never really stayed in one place. And got to Edmonton and I stayed here and I stayed there. And when me and Cindy got together, we've traveled all over. We stayed in different places for different periods of time. And now we're getting ready to move again. So there's always this momentum of moving, and it's like trying to find where you belong so you can set roots and you can do things. But that hasn't really been a big thing in my life. And with my business, I travel lots. I'm always going places, always meeting people. So you notice a lot of people too, they're trying to find a place to live and they go somewhere, they think they're going to get a job, things sort of come and then it crashes. And then it's like, do I stay here or do I move again? And it feels we're going back into that survival, that nomadic, that where we're trying to unite with groups of people, the same mindset, that see the reality we're seeing. Because you can't live with people that are going to fight. You don't have time for that. And if you're joining and uniting with people that want to fight, then basically you're all going to destroy yourself. That's what I loved about the Native culture. All the things my granddad taught me as a little boy, we all supported and worked with one another. Because you can't have a tribe of people if they don't work and help and survive and protect and do things for one another. It doesn't work. Like there would have been no natives on this continent when Columbus came if natives didn't work in harmony. Natives didn't starve one another. Natives didn't kill one another. Natives didn't do crimes or anything towards one another. That wasn't a part of the culture. And they saw a reality in a way that it was about survival. And this is where I always say on the TikTok live, find your spiritual family, find where you belong. Surround yourself with the people that see and understand and support you. And get the knowledge to really wake yourself up, because you have to be different. You have to stand up to everything. You can't just give in and accept what they're telling you. I mean, that was the programming of school. That's what was the programming of churches. And reality, come to work and you make us happy, we'll pay you in 2 weeks. You don't make us happy, we'll fire you. So, like I say, we're going into a reality where we want change. Look at the governments. In Canada, are you voting for Paul Poilievre, or are you voting for Carney? Who do you want in there? And whoever's in there is gonna do what they're doing, because the universe is trying to change the way governments work, the way we do all kinds of things on this planet. These changes are changing whether we like it or not. And it's important to understand where you fit in that. And there are cultures that believe they're going to take over the planet, but that's not really a truth. That's their filters, that's their perception, that's their belief. And there's a lot of cultures on this planet that believe this planet belongs to them. They don't believe in sharing it with the rest of the world. And they're implementing things and they're doing what they believe to be right. And that's the way they perceive reality. That's the way they want to do things. I don't know, the more knowledge you get, the more you sit back and watch, the less you want to fight, the less you want to expend energy, the less you want to get out there and go to all kinds of silly things, wasting time. And I don't know, right now I think a lot of people are going into some sort of a reset. Like Cindy says, she feels that where we were, it allowed her for a year to sort of move through things, like a reset, releasing old, allowing her body to heal, allowing her self to move at the pace she needs to move. And I think there's a time where we go through these stages, and I want to be a part of the future. I want to be part of that bigger reality and how we're going to channel lots of new information. And there's going to be a lot of different people channeling stuff. And a lot of people are going to channel whatever comes through. And I think the ones who are going to be really channeling things that are important and will help people survive, I think a lot of people won't accept what is coming through. Like, I've shared a lot of things over years with people. A lot of people didn't want to believe me. But like I say, I don't really care. The intelligent people will understand and they will realize and they'll know what the truth is and they will go in the right direction. But there's all kinds of people out there. I see a lot of new channelers and they're saying all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, okay, I already know this. And they say this is where they're getting it from. This is where, like this woman, when she did this book, whatever it was, she just wrote it and gave it to the world. And this book is very relevant to what's going on the planet right now. She didn't know the impact of it, but she fulfilled it, and I'm just reading it so people can get the information and understand it and see the world in a way that may help them survive. Because Barbara Marciniak, what she trans-channeled and what that Darius channeled on that Anthony Shinner, two totally different things. But he really believes and wants everybody to believe the things he said. Hey, Morning Star. Well, I hope you enjoyed your Easter. Me and Cindy, we went out and we bought ourselves a turkey dinner we just had before this, so that was our Easter. I don't go to church. I don't celebrate Easter or anything. To me, it's just another day. Like I say, a lot of people believe in those things and it's important to them. I was talking with Cindy earlier about how 2,300 years ago they believed Jesus was just going to pop out of the clouds and save everybody in the planet. And when they really realize who Jesus is, they're going to be surprised. Because in one book it says he's going to come in a plane and he's going to come out of the clouds in an airplane and he's going to land and get off the plane and announce himself to the world. So, yeah, oh yeah, there's a book that says that. And that's, what's his name? Just the last book we read. The Teacher.
Choke Cherry Gull Eagle?
No, not that one, before that one.
Maitreya.
Yeah, Maitreya. He says, yeah, I'll come, he says, and I'll come in a plane, and that plane will come out of the clouds. Then I'll get off the plane and I'll announce myself. And the masters are on the planet. But yet we're still believing in some archaic belief that's 2,300 years old. And people still want to make that belief the reality. And that's where I'm like, where these filters are, what do you hold on to? What do you believe? What is your ancestral stuff that you're using to say what the reality that we're moving into is? I mean, there's lots of old truths, but they're archaic. Why didn't they modernize everything? Why didn't they look at the whole world and modernize us and say, well, here, this is what it's really saying? And the universe is not about confusion, not about archaic or tearing things apart and giving misinformation. And after 2,300 years, people are very confused as to what is the true story or not. It's like now they're finding out that the pyramids in Egypt, there's something way bigger that's underneath them. And they were saying they would find that. And here we are now discovering these things. But before they said there was nothing underneath there. But all of a sudden now they're finding this and everybody's going, oh, and they're sharing it and they're getting all excited about it. And why is that? It's like I really like the Nostradamus prophecies. And in the Dolores Cannon books, he talks about all these different kinds of things that are going to go on with all the countries and different things in the world. talks about the Antichrist, talks about Revelations, talks about how different things are going to play out in different parts of the world, and everything is moving in that direction. And when these things play out, once they're over and done, we're finished with it. And it's going to change this whole planet. And for me, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to all of this stuff ending. Because everybody has been in paranoia for 2,300 years. And we all fed this energy to whatever is feeding on this fear, paranoia, whatever you want to say it is. And it's really, really important to recognize this, because how are you using the energy? Because I bought into that a lot in my life, and how things would come along and make me really, really paranoid or afraid, or alter the way I was seeing things or believing in things, and made me disbelieve some things sometimes when I knew in reality what was the truth. Yet still, through being around enough people who are afraid, they can really alter the way you think and you believe. And this is where they know how to implant or imprint or get you to believe or think things. They know how to push at you in a way that eventually you'll just give in and you'll start agreeing. And that's something that's gone on for 2,300 years. And there are people now that are like, no, I'm going to follow this path and nothing is going to stop me. And that's the way I've looked at it all my life up to now, is these are the things I believe, and this is what I am doing. And this is where I want to get to in the final outcome. And it's not about beating up other people and making them follow me. It's not about saying this way or that way is right. Because when you can see it's all right, everything has solutions and answers. And when you go to a Buddhist temple, you sit there to learn what they're going to teach you, to see what they have learned and figured out. If you go to any church, and there's a lot of different kinds of churches, there's tabernacle, there's, Protestant and whatever, there's so many, Jehovah's Witness and that. And you join them, they will get you to eventually see and agree with what they want. And if that's what you really like, that's where you're going to stay. But with the universe, it's about seeing everything and seeing the good wherever it is. When I go to a Buddhist temple, I want to see things. And I like sitting in there. I like being shown stuff. Same with when I go to a church. When I'm in there and I'm praying and doing things, I like seeing things that's there in the church. When I'm in the native ceremonies, I like seeing things. When I'm in the sweat lodge and the grandmothers and grandfathers come in and they help us. Or if I'm in the Uipi ceremony and all the Uipi spirits come in and they do things. I like when I'm in these different realities and I'm not fighting them. I'm not telling them what to do. They're showing me a reality. And I'm open to looking at it. I'm not open to condemning it and saying it's evil or it's wrong. But people have to go past that mindset. People don't want to go there. People are too afraid that, they need to hide a Bible in the bathroom and pretend it's toilet paper. Because maybe somewhere they're going to get really scared and believe it's Jesus that's going to save them, so they'll go and dig it out of the bathroom and they'll sit there and say, see, Jesus, I was reading my Bible. And it's like everybody's perception. What are you hiding? What are you showing the world or not showing the world? What are you believing or not believing? I talk pretty straightforwards. If you've been on my TikTok since I started, I've shared a lot of things. I, like I say, read books, I share knowledge, I try to help people perceive things. I tell people about books. If you really want to know something, read this. If you really want to see and understand things, well, read this. And if people took the time to do it, their perceptions and understandings would be different. And some people want to read things, but they don't want to change. They want somebody to tell them what to do. Nobody told me what to do. I get up every day and I go through my day making choices. And it's really important on using this thing to think, to choose, to make choices. Because your reality comes from that. And they want us scared, because if we're scared, then we're only manifesting the negative, and we want to believe in the negative. And that's how they've conditioned us for 2,300 years. It's like being with Cindy. I taught her all kinds of things. But there's still things inside her she still is unsure of. At some point, she's going to move past that and really allow herself to see. And like I say, when she's ready, she'll make those changes. If not, she's going to stay on her path. And as I move into the future, if she's not moving into the fourth or fifth dimension, then she's not going to be a part of my reality. And like I say, she's the one that decides for herself. I don't tell her what to change or do. Today we were talking with a friend who's an astrologer, and he was trying to help her to connect some things inside. And he's aware, looking at her astrology chart and that, and he's trying to say something, but he's trying not to hurt her or create a fear or alter or distort something. Hello everyone that's joining. And trying to remove these filters. Trying to find a place where you're safe enough that you can remove these filters and feel safe with everything that's up here. Because it's not out here. It's not over here. It's not in TikTok land or anywhere else. It's in here. I create my reality with whatever is in here. There's lots and lots of exterior things out here that's trying to keep me afraid and keep me stuck in this old way of 2,300 years of being terrified, being obedient, accepting and being told what to think or believe. But I've always sort of done my own thing. You're welcome, Amelie. Amalie. I don't know, even in my community growing up, people always had a problem with me. Because I just didn't fit in. I didn't try to look like everybody. I didn't try to talk like everybody. I didn't try to dress like everybody. I just did my own thing. And I didn't really care what anybody thought. I mean, growing up, I never fit in anyway, so why all of a sudden do I want to fit in? And after all I have learned since I left home 38 years ago, I go back home, I won't fit in. I have learned so many things beyond what most of them understand. And a lot of them are still the same as when I left 38 years ago. They're doing exactly the same things they were doing when I was there 38 years ago. Still talking the same way, still doing whatever it is they're doing. And they have no real understandings or concepts or anything. They just live inside of that system that they accept as their reality. And I reflect on that because I see how much I've grown. I see all the people I've met over the 38 years since I moved away from home. All the ceremonies, all kinds of stuff that expanded me. There were times where things were beyond my comprehension that scared me in different ways that sometimes, but I knew there was something more in it and I needed to understand that. So I would keep trying to go to find those answers. And at the same time, still reading, still sitting with people, still practicing and doing things. So there was always a growing, always a learning. And a lot of times people would show up and try to use superstition or stories or different things to create fear. And they would try to gang up on me, and I'm like, I'm not going there. Been there already. Don't need to live there. If you want to stay there, go ahead. But in my reality, there's a lot more than what you're trying to get me to think and believe. And I don't see you growing. I don't see you evolving. I don't see anything there. So I don't accept that reality. I don't waste my time with it. And we all have challenges of whatever is up in here, whether we're a good person or a bad person, and how the world perceives or doesn't perceive us. Because 10 years ago you might have done something now, but here you are 10 years in the future. You're judging yourself by 10 years ago, but everybody around you don't know who you were 10 years ago. So what's going on in your mind? Can you share with people what this 10 years ago, why you hate yourself? Why you're stuck in holding yourself there? And this is where, like I say, we live in here. Like Cindy, sometimes like today, she was referring to certain things that go on and how she catches herself back in these old loops. And she's in it herself. I'm in my reality, holding space, trying to be open, listening to her, trying to discuss topics and that can expand her awareness to realize that's old patterns. They're not real anymore, but the mind still wants to do that. And she has the knowledge, she has the tools, the ability, she has everything. But yet those subconscious patterns still have a very powerful fear. And there's something that's inside she's getting closer and closer to looking at. And when she does that, she's going to get rid of the fear. She's going to allow herself to shift and change, and she will never allow herself to be there. And this is all our challenges. Because we have many, many beautiful people show up in our lives, trying to get us to see and lift this illusion, this veil, to really see reality. And one of the things is really connecting with your stomach, with your intuition, with your feelings and your emotions, and connect this with this. Because if you're really understanding what you're feeling, you can slow it down, you can stop and look at it. Because I don't like old patterns ruling and controlling me. I don't like things from the past robbing and taking away from my life or my experience. So if I'm feeling something, I need to look at it. Like today when Cindy was doing that, and she was talking it out and expressing it. And she was very clear about that. But there's still something to do with the feelings, with the stomach, and that your intuition and things and allowing and trusting it. And that's where women, when they have children, they use it to help their children, but they don't use it to help themselves. They will go in there and they'll feel everything for the child or for the husband or for the parents or for whoever, but they won't go in there and feel it for themselves. It's really, interesting when I watch people. I'm like, why don't you do that for yourself? It's like we get all this energy from the universe to heal ourselves, to make our lives better, to manifest and create for ourselves, but we'll give it all to everybody. And then we'll want somebody to come and try to fix us. But maybe God already gave us everything to fix ourselves, but we're too busy giving it all away. And that's more important to us. But that's a distorted reality. Because if you're really, really happy, and you're really creating and manifesting, enjoying and seeing your reality, then you can teach somebody how to do the same thing. But you'll see healers all over the world, they're broken, trying to fix other people, and they're all just broken. It's like, why aren't they all happy and successful and all enjoying life and living that and sharing it with one another? And I notice in spirituality between all cultures, it's a competition and it's a spiritual war. Like me being native, I gotta prove all these native things. I have to justify my native existence. So when I sit with a Christian tries to prove to me his spiritual reality, which I already understand and know. And he's going to try to make me prove and justify my reality. And he won't accept that reality, so then we got to do this spiritual battle of right and wrong. And I could tell him I read 5 different Bibles. I understand what the Bible is saying. I read the Dead Sea Scrolls. I read the Nag Hammadi. I read and searched lots and lots of things. And I study prophecy. I study cultures and spiritual practices from around the world. And I can talk about St. Francis of Assisi. I can talk about a lot of different beings that were part of the church. But he'll still feel threatened by me. He won't just accept me and just allow my culture to be the way it is. Like the preacher that screamed at me when I was a little boy in residential school, I was a heathen, so I have to burn in hell. And like I say, you don't have to defend your spiritual practice, not with your husband, not with your family, not with brothers, sisters, not with your children. It's yours. It's in here. It's not out here. And it's their fear, not yours. Because they don't want to accept and just allow. Maybe it's that simple. Maybe if you just put everything there and really, really looked at it, you'll just see what is a simple truth. And after 2,300 years, it's gotten very confusing. Just to sit there and close your eyes and let your third eye open up and just look around. And allow yourself to be shown by the Earth Mother what the future is and what the truth is. Or for maybe your ancestors to step in. Maybe your grandmother is sitting there in front of you in a rocking chair and it's creaking because when you're a little child, she'd sit in the corner and she'd rock and tell you stories, and maybe she's right there beside you in the spirit world. But you're too afraid to open your third eye and acknowledge her. And she's calling you, saying, "Hey, Granny, your Granny is here. Why don't you say hello to me?" And she's creaking back and forth. But you're too afraid to just pop your third eye open and go, "Hey, how you doing?" And she can tell you all kinds of amazing things. And like I say, that programming is ancestral. Because you're looking at 2,300 years on this earth of them telling us we have to fear all these natural things. You know, when your third eye is open, you see the angels. You know, when your third eye is open, you see all these masters and teachers. But they tell you in Christianity that it's the devil deceiving you. It's not the devil deceiving you. They just don't want you to understand these things, because then you have no more fear. All the churches would close and collapse right away. All the different spiritual cultures and practices will all close and collapse. People wouldn't waste their time following them, being afraid, praying to all the different things they tell you to pray to. And like I say, it gives you a distorted perception. How do you free yourself from it is, I think, for each person, the $1,000,000 question. Because if you can figure that out, then basically you've won. And you can live, you can create, you can manifest, you can do whatever it is and be peaceful about it. And you know you don't have to fight and argue with nobody. And family really love doing that. Always, there's always a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, parent, dad or mom, grandparent, whoever, that wants to challenge you. And they want to hold you in fear. They want to look down on you. And they'll find other people to do the same thing. Why accept that? Glad I left home. Glad I left my community. Glad I left all my relatives in the past in the Arctic. I'm glad I explored this new reality that I have done in 38 years. And with all its challenges, I'm very, very glad. Because it helped me to grow, it helped me to understand. And like I say, all the children are questioning this reality. A lot of them see and know the future. But they don't know who to believe, they don't know what to trust, they don't know what to do. Yeah, your Nukum or your Nukumos is with you all the time. Just because you can't see her or she doesn't talk to you. She's there. And when she knows you're not afraid and you're ready, she may reveal herself to you. And there's a lot of other spirits around that are ancestors and all kinds of different spirits. And it's like when you really, really allow and you give them permission to reveal themselves, because they don't want to create fear, they don't want you scared. They really love you, they're not there to traumatize and hurt you. That's not their purpose. Yeah, she's always around you. You can feel the energy. You know when her energy is around you because you feel something. It's like if you had a grandfather that really loved you that smoked cigars. Every now and then you'll smell cigars. You're sitting at home and there's nobody around and you'll just smell a cigar. A lot of times our grandmother's around us and maybe she cooked you a pie. Maybe every time you went to see her, she would make you an apple pie. And sometimes you're sitting there, or you might be at your office working or driving in your car, and all of a sudden you smell this beautiful smell of an apple pie. That's your grandmother saying, here I am, I'm beside you. You have to pay attention to things, it's important. And that's why you got to listen to this part, this brain right here in the solar plex, the stomach area. Because it tells you a lot of things. And like I say, for women, when they have children and that, they use their abilities in all kinds of ways. But they never seem to use it for themselves. They turn it off, on and off for their children. They turn it on and off for their husbands. But they never turn it on and off for themselves. And when you're a healer and when you're a spiritual person, you don't do that. Because they make you believe it's wrong, which it isn't. If you're a healer and you're spiritual, you have to turn it on for yourself. Very cool, Katie. Yeah, Shad. You gotta learn how to do that for yourself. You need to learn to meditate and open your third eye and ask to see all the spirits around you and let them know you want to see them. Susie Q said, "Oh Lord." You're going to start singing a song. Oh Lord. Sometimes when people pass to the other side, they need at least a year. They need to go to the other side. You got to pray. They go into the light. And when they're on the other side, they see and understand everything. Then God lets them come back. And then they'll show and tell you whatever it is, but you're not supposed to cry over to them. But people, they want to cry, and I'm like, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to celebrate all the good memories you have of them. It's really important to do that, but people want to sit and cry. I don't cry when people die. I don't feel sad for them. I'm very happy for them. I look at my good memories about them. Sometimes I remember the jokes and the funny things and I laugh. That's what the spirits want you to do on the other side. They don't want you sitting there grieving. That's cool, Wendy. Yes, talking to your grandma is a good thing. So yeah, it's what do you want to perceive? Because when you die, you're going to go to the other side. You're not going to want anybody to cry over you. You're not going to want your kids to sit at home for the rest of their lives grieving over you. There's lots to live for. There's lots of things to do, lots of places to go. And you have to let them all go. And whatever new you're supposed to welcome in, whatever is your future happiness, you're supposed to invite it in. But people are trained for 2,300 years to live in misery, live in fear, believe in silliness. Don't want to believe in freedom and joy. Don't want to believe in happiness. And it's important to believe in those things because you create it. Like when I die, I don't want nobody crying or being sad and that. I'm like, I ain't hanging around and listening to that bullshit. There's lots to do. I mean, there's places in the universe I want to go and explore. Why am I going to sit around and wipe somebody's ass that's dumb enough to cry and waste their life? Hey, Mandy. I mean, there's so much joy to create, but people are just wasting energy and time, not creating it. You keep yourself locked in a prison of misery. It's you who does it, not God, not Jesus, not the angels, not your dead relatives or kids or anybody else. You're doing that to yourself. They chose to leave this planet. They didn't need to hang around. And when they reincarnate, like I say, they're not going to give a shit about you. If they're born in Africa, they're going to be running through the jungle. They're going to be playing and happy with their new family, and they're never going to give a shit about you if you're still sitting there crying somewhere on the earth. Like I say, you have to give your head a shake and get real about life. Yeah, when they're on the other side, it's like it's their right to enjoy. It's their right to do really lots of things. We're all going to reincarnate. It's not something you're going to get away with. Reincarnation is a part of everything in evolution. And everybody reincarnates. You chose this life for a reason. And when you're on the other side, you're going to know what that is, and you're going to go, oh, I want to go back to do more. No, reincarnation is something that's part of creation. That's why God created everything forever. It's about growing and evolving. It's not about punishment. No, it's got nothing to do with choice. Reincarnation is a part of a cycle of everything in reality. Yeah, cool. If your husband is helping humanity on the other side, that's great. Yeah. And like I say, they're not suffering. They're not afraid anymore. They're not avoiding. They're not numbing themselves. They're not doing things. They're not living a hard life. So learn to be thankful for them. No, it's a fake olive tree. We're at we're at a friend's place. Um, yeah, reality is just there. Reincarnation is you reincarnate every lifetime for a reason, but you were made to believe things that are not true. So a lot of people don't want to reincarnate, but they're gonna whether they like it or not, because your soul still wants to learn, grow, and do things. Like I say, you've already had 300,000 lifetimes. And some of them you were a really nasty, evil person. You weren't just an angel in every lifetime. And this is where people got all these really silly beliefs. And you have to change it. You have to free yourself from it. It doesn't matter if you want to. When you die and you go to the other side, you're going to see things. You are going to go, wow. You're going to understand everything. Then you're going to reincarnate. Because this life, who you are, Shab, you're not going to give a shit about it. When you come in as, maybe an English person, maybe a Russian, maybe a Jew, you're not going to care about who Shab was. You're going to go, wow, I'm a Jew. And you're going to start living life from that point of view. You're going to look at that reality. You're not going to give a shit about your children, your grandparents, your ancient granddad's bones rattling in the ground. You're not going to give a shit about none of it. And like I say, we get stuck in these things because there's something around us that maybe is doing that. Maybe an ancestor is trying to keep you trapped, keeping you stuck in this kind of way of depression or sadness or something, so you won't move, you won't grow, and you just sit there and you punish yourself. And it's like, why live that way? Like I say, why don't you create the happiness that truly belongs to you? That's the beautiful existence for everybody. And it's really, really hard to understand. That's why you have to put so much information and things up here, and you have to look at the reality in the way that's there. And like I say, asking your ancestors, whatever universal beings around you, to free you from the trap that's there. Because they have answers, they have knowledge to free you. But they can't do it unless you're asking and giving them permission. That's what true healing is. True healing is really, really asking and receiving what it is the Creator sends to you, and all these angels and that are going to help you transition and move from one place to another. But people don't want to ask. They don't figure they deserve it, so they just sit there and they just keep on going through the same monkey game day after day, year after year. And God says, ask me anything. Really easy to do. And natives, we always call on the Creator. We're taught that as children. You got a problem, ask the Creator. Natives, they go to the water and they ask the water to help them. They go and they take sage and they burn it and they ask for help. Once you do that, you got to give permission, and then you just be patient for them to start helping you to. They'll attract people who will help you with this. Ask them who's really healers and teachers in my life. Like really ask and invite that and see what shows up. See what really goes on that changes in your dreams and everything. When you go to sleep at night, ask questions before you go to sleep. See what kind of answers you get. And you're going to start perceiving reality different, because that is your birthright. And this is what all the teachers should be teaching you. You think going to a singing bowl group and you're all sucking down cacao and you're all sitting there and some really hateful, greedy person has got all these bowls in front of them and they're smiling, pretending to be angels going, you guys didn't give me enough money. I didn't get a bar of gold today. So I'm just going to send hateful noise out at you. Is that going to really heal you? Oh, she's such an angel. Oh my God, I got to go there next week. And you go home and you sit there and you're still in the same crap again. With Catholics, there's really lots of old negative things. You got to pray that they get removed from your life. There's lots of ancestors that's stuck in all kinds of things. And this is where, like I say, if you had the right teachers, if you really had the right teachers, man, you'd have amazing lives. What is that person doing the singing bowls teaching you? Like, what is the real truth and why are you paying them? Why are you going there? When you go to somebody, it's light language, and they're going, what are they teaching you? Did they help you really understand what it is that needs to go on to change and bring happiness? Like I say, when you really understand the truth and you know how to work with the universe, magic happens. And you need somebody to sit and talk and support and hold space and allow you to realize, wow. It took me, even though my granddad taught me things as a child, it took me a lifetime to really learn and understand it. And if you're really crying all the time, Susie Q, are you a Cancer? Because if you are in astrology, Cancers cry all the time. I put on a shitty movie and you're sitting next to me, you're just going to burst out crying. I put on a really dumb comedy and somebody bumps their knee and you'll just start crying. And you just cry and cry all the time if you're a Cancer. I could say there's lots of things. If you understand why, then you can go, wow, I can change that. Did I glitch? I asked you, Susie Q, are you a Cancer in astrology? Because you have a sun, you have an ascendant, you have a moon. And if one of those are a Cancer, a lot of times you cry. Yeah, you're a Leo, that's your sun. But what is your ascendant and what's your moon? Yeah, like I say, when you find the real factors of why you cry all the time, then you'll understand. You'll go, oh, I can change that. But when you don't know anything, you can't change it. So Susie Q, you need your exact time you were born, the day, the city, and that to get your birth chart. That'll give you your sun, your ascendant, and your moon. They call it the big three. Yeah, somewhere in you, Mandy, you'll find what you need. You'll know where to do what you need to. Like I say, ask for guidance from the universe. They know how to do all of it. They know what the future is. Cool, Rachel Vera, you looked up your birth chart today. That's very cool. Yeah, whenever you go public with anything, it's terrifying. Some people will see it as good, others will see it as bad. Oh, you're a double Aquarius, Chad. You really don't have a lot of emotions towards things. Aquarians are very interesting. You being a sun and ascendant Aquarius, double Aquarius, that's pretty cool. If you had the right teachers and that, you'd really understand and you'd focus more on the future. Being a Capricorn, you should look at building your own business and working for yourself. You have certain gifts and abilities. When you understand them, You can even use them bigger shot. But like I say, it's like having the right people, the right teachings, the right knowledge. And that's really important to understand. Yeah, Mandy, like I say, the where you are with your children and everything going on in life, yeah, it is very scary. Like Cindy says, Capricorns are very stoic. And like I say, Aquarians, they don't really give a shit. Aquarians are very, very focused. And a lot of people don't understand them. So perceptions, like I say with astrology, there's things in astrology that can tell you how a person perceives and sees the world, what kind of a reality they see by their signs. It gives a lot of information, a lot of psychology about people and how this holographic machine works. And you can tell how they create and manifest and where they're stuck in fears and a lot of other things when you really learn to understand it. Yeah, in Sagittarius, you need more higher education. You need to put your mind in learning, growing, evolving. And if you don't have people around you that can really bring you down and get you stuck, and like I say, you start learning how to use these things to your benefit because that helps you to perceive and really see reality. It's like mine. When I look at it and I look at astrology, especially the psychology astrology we're doing, it's just nailing, because when they're talking, I'm like, that was me when I was a child. That's the way I see and I perceive things. And they just put these things together in the chart and they just start saying stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's all me. And it's like, when you understand this, you can know all kinds of things about a person. It's so amazing. Very cool, Rachel Vera, you're a custodian, learning lots of things. That's great. Yeah, it's important to find people with knowledge, people who really want to teach you and help you how to use your mind, people that want to be truthful. I don't want to help people put more filters here. I don't want people walking around with rose-colored glasses and doing all kinds of silly things, wasting their time and their life. Carly Wado, Taurus, Scorpio. Yeah. And like I say, your Taurus has certain things, your Scorpio, and is curious about the darkness and anything that's hidden. Oh, you're a year older than I am, Susie Q. I was born 61. So Pluto played a really, really big thing in your life too, because Pluto, I forget where it was, but it locked us into something. Everybody that's born when Pluto starts its 14-year cycle is stuck in something. They're trying to learn something. And Susie Q says, thanks for caring, Cindy. And Earth Girl 77 says she was in 68. So astrology is truly amazing. We got a book on Pluto, and it talks about when Pluto is here and what it's trying to teach. I read the whole book one day. I remember reading it and I was just curious. I thought, oh, well, I better read this. Yeah, we're all exhausted because we're changing energy. But if you don't realize that, then you don't know how to move into that energy. And that's what we all got to start asking. Yeah, Nana's in 57, 1957. So she was born 4 years before I was. Because even if you look at the 1900s, there's a certain thought pattern that people were born into, and then 1910, There's a thought pattern people were born into. 1920, there's a thought pattern people are born into. Every 10 years, there's something that comes in and a group of people get stuck in that. And then it starts the next one, then the next one. Michelle says hi from NC.
North Carolina.
Link says this is different. New age, older native. It's off. Astrological and not native. I guess new learnings. Everything belongs to everybody. It doesn't belong to anyone. Natives had their own astrology. Natives understand astrology. Understand all the cycles, the moons, and all the rest. Denny Jackson said his grandmother was born 1898 and his dad was born 1922. Yeah, we're talking about perceptions, and like I say, if you understand the characteristics of a Capricorn, then you know how their mind looks, how they view the world, why they think the way they do, why they act and do the things, why they, do certain things. And then if their ascendant is a Gemini, then you know how a Gemini thinks and why they do this and why they do that and all this other stuff. And if their moon is an Aries, then you also understand why they do things. And that gives you a whole story about that person and the way they look at the world, the things they're trying to find, why they're stuck in certain kinds of beliefs, different things. It really gives so many answers. And I encourage people to learn about their astrology, learn their own birth chart. And I always say, find your teachers. Find your spiritual family. Find people that want to work with you and be evolved and grow in whatever it is you're doing. You don't want to surround yourself with people who want to argue and fight with you all day, because it just drains you. If you're married to somebody that's really negative, all they do is drain you. They don't give you energy, they don't love you, they don't support you. They don't want to know the things you're doing, they don't want to learn, they don't want to do anything. They just suck you dry day after day. And people have to look at their relationships with their children, with their husbands, with their family, with their grandparents, whatever is draining, you got to acknowledge it. Why do you want that in your life? I don't like draining things in my life. I'm very, very tired of people coming around just wanting to suck and drain everything. And 90% of this world, that's all they're doing. They're not loving, they're not supporting. They're not even supporting the reincarnated Jesus who's walking around on the planet right now. They're still looking into the skies, waiting for somebody to miraculously peer out of the clouds. And they're just sucking the life out of everything. Yeah, like this 13 Laundry lady says, oh my God, and the excuses about how he was abandoned and abused. We all got issues. But we get to heal and change it. We get to do what we do. I try to learn, I try to read, I try to find ways to help people. I could say this book, I think, is a really amazing book. And it's really, really straight to the truth. People won't want to accept it, and it was channeled through the Palladians, and it's what they're telling us about our reality and where we're at and what we're going through. You have to learn to heal, or you have to accept the energy. It's like, I want God to heal me. How do I learn that? I know there's energies and angels and things that can help me heal. This book is Family of Light by Barbara Marciniak. You can take a screenshot. And that's where it's like the universe, we're asking the universe to heal us. But when energy comes in, what a person wants to do is manifest. They don't just allow the energy to do things. They don't just call in the angels and allow the angels to work on them and work on them and work on them. Because we're too busy being manifestors. We're too busy doing things. We got no time to heal. Who's really got time to heal? Not a lot of people. I've been learning for nearly 40 years. And I've been in all kinds of ceremonies, but I was so busy. I think there were times if I stopped and was patient enough, I would have had a lot of healing. But I was too aggressively going on, believing I had to learn more and learn more and do more and do more and do more. I never stopped to really love or give a shit about myself, because there's always somebody else out there that needs my help in some kind of way. So I put myself on the shelf. You know, like the little elf on the shelf, it just sits there until somebody decides to move it. They go, God damn, is that thing still sitting there? We better move it. And you just keep getting shoved off further and further and further into the darkness. Nobody gives a shit. And they're all begging, oh, please, come save me, help me, teach me. And if you're a bleeding heart, you go, oh, poor you, oh, I feel so sorry for you, okay. And then you help them, and then they piss on you, and they run off in another direction, try to find somebody else to do the same thing. And then you just keep getting pushed off like elf on the shelf. You get buried somewhere. Sometimes you got to dig yourself up and revive yourself and go, well, I think I'm more important than that. Maybe I need to do something for me. And it's like asking God for everything that belongs to you. It's like that book I'm reading, in it, the 7 sacred flames. And it says, I am the resurrection and life of my health. I am the resurrection and life of my intelligence. I am the resurrection and life of my happiness. Because it's about me. I need to resurrect everything that's going to make me happy. I know how to give. Because anybody that's a Christian tried to be like Jesus, thinking if they died on the cross, then the universe is going to go, oh, you're such a good person. And you pissed on your own self believing in all that crap from the church. Because they didn't want you to give a shit about yourself. You were giving all your money to the preacher that sat there all day in the church, and he's got gold washing bowls, and he's got plates and forks made out of gold, and he's eating like a king while you're living in poverty and groveling and living in misery. And he's creating all the glory he wants, and he doesn't give a shit about you. Doesn't care if you make it into heaven or not. But you're willing to give everything to him. And you'll even die on the cross if he tells you to. Why? I mean, when you really think about that, why? I really believed that shit until I was around 30, and then I realized how stupid it was. I'm like, I need to change that. If I want a good life, then I gotta give myself a good life. And I deserve every damn good thing there is that I ever can create and manifest. And we all deserve. This world is not nice to us. And it's okay to be selfish and be happy. It's okay to have beautiful things. It's okay to have good friends and all kinds of things and wake up happy every day. Jesus didn't tell us to bleed or put thorns, a crown of thorns in our head, tell people to stick big spikes through our hands. He didn't say that. So why are we doing that? Why are you going to the church and still giving money to that asshole sitting in the church? Why are you paying the Pope to walk around in a dress and fly around in planes and live really nice all over the world when he never gives a shit about you? You pray to him to absolve your sins, and he says he sits next to God. He don't give a shit about you. But you're still willing to give to him. So, like I say, it's a perception. Do you really want your own happiness? Can you ask God for your happiness? Yeah, Danny Jackson, the giving tree. We should all call ourselves that. Or like ATMs. Just say, oh, I got this problem. Just tell me I'm poor. And then you turn into this ATM. Here, you fool, have everything. You need something? Put in your code and take what you want from me. Sometimes we gotta laugh at ourselves. Why do we believe all this? Why do we manifest and create it? Why can't we create our own beauty and joy? And why do we need to find somebody broken, trying to fix them and turn them into magicians and all kinds of things, when we can have somebody beautiful that's not broken? Well, yeah, I like sharing my mindset with the world. I'm pretty straight up about things that I say. If you've been listening for the last 3 years, I've said a lot of things. And like I say, it's you need to find the right teacher. And there's not a lot of good ones out there. I try to do the best. And I'll say it a lot of times the way I feel it. It's not about hurting anybody's feelings, it's about really being honest. And we need more and more people on this earth being that way. Because nobody's going to change you but yourself. In the end, you're going to look at yourself and realize it was all you. You're welcome, Rachel Ware. And like I say, I come on in the morning at 10 o'clock and I read stuff like this so people can think about reality. Think about the bigness and the love and everything that really is there. So I'm going to say my prayer and I'm going to end for the evening. Hey, Kurt. And like I think of yourself as an ATM. All this energy, all this stuff you dispensed. Have you got anything in return for it? Like I told a story one time when I was in Edson and these two women came from Edmonton. They had a hotel room. And I went and seen them. And I did the clearing and everything. And then they wanted me to answer questions. And finally, 8 hours later, I was ready to leave. And then they asked me, well, how much is it? I says, well, by donation, whatever you feel. And the woman opened up her wallet, and you could see hundreds and fifties. She had a big, thick wad of money in her. And she dug around. She finally pulled out a $20 bill, and she handed it to me. And that was 8 hours of my time. And they paid me $20, and I'm like, God is only going to give you $20 worth. Because you know it was worth a lot more. And I helped them with all kinds of things for 8 hours. And then they turned around and they did that. And I'm like, oh well, that's their karma. And I just walked away and just left it with the universe. And that's the way people are. And that's where this world is very selfish, and people will take advantage of you. And if you're an ATM and you got lots of energy to give, keep on doing it. One day you're going to shut that down and you're going to go, sorry, but this energy is mine and I'll create good things for me. I'll wake up happy. I'll wake up and have the things that I need. I'll be a little selfish and I'll create my joy. I don't need somebody else creating it for me. And that's where you got to decide to kick your own ass and change your reality. Other than that, it will stay that same. The only band-aid is being real with yourself. And nobody really knows what's in here but you. Nobody really knows what's in here but you or here. You can share and you can talk and you can do what you want, but most people don't truly understand. So, like I say, make choices. Really decide, truly, to do the work to get into the future. I do energy clearings. It's in the bio, or you can look up on my business. I do energy clearings, and it's $100 Canadian. Me and Cindy are thinking of doing meditation. If anybody's interested, send us a message. We're thinking of teaching and doing meditation 4 Sundays or something like that. Like, what day you think would work for you? Because we're trying to come up with a day. And we'll do 4 of them in 1 month. We're meditating, teaching, and helping you to understand. And we're just going to do 4. And some people, like, they're stay-at-home moms, so when their kids are gone, their husband is gone, then they can do it. Some people, it's like the only time they have is a Saturday or Sunday, so we try to fit things in. We're figuring it either be a Sunday or a Wednesday. Sunday at 10 in the morning or Wednesday at 10 in the morning. And we're looking at 10 people at the most. And if we're going to do 4 of them, it's going to be about $25 a session. So 4 of those, that's $100 for a month. And we're going to do it through our school. So if you're interested, send us a message and let us know. And we'll figure it out and we'll put it together and we'll make it happen. So I'm going to do my prayer and then I'm going to end. Call in the Creator, the Central Sun, the Universal Light, God, whatever you believe. And we ask that light to come through our sun, blessing the sun and all the beings that work there, that watch over this universe. They need their energy and blessings. Then we ask that energy radiate out to all the other planets and all the other beings in this universe. They need to receive theirs. Then we ask it to come to the earth, to bless the Earth Mother. So she receives all the energy and all the things that come from the sun that she needs. And then we ask the children, her children, the 4-leg, 2-leg, wing ones, furry ones, feather ones, standing people, rock people, sky people, water people, to receive their blessings. Then the energy goes into the earth, blessing everybody and everything that's inside the earth. There's all kinds of things that are in the earth that needs blessings and energy. And we call the energy down into our homes, our cars, our business, wherever we are. Down through our etheric, down through our auric, into our heads. Let the energy run all the way through your body into the earth. And ask that energy and light to heal your mind, bring joy, happiness, help you with your dreams, help you with your creatings, help you with your problems and things in life, to help you to have patience, grace, peace, serenity, whatever it is you need in life. Allow the energies of the Creator to help you with that. Whatever kinds of healings, whatever you're releasing ancestors, whatever it is with the churches, whatever it is with your community or wherever you are in the earth, on the earth. And then take that energy down into your third eye and ask your third eye get cleared up. And think of your eye as a crystal ball that can see out the top of your head, or out the back of your head, or out the side of your head, or down under through your chin, and it can see all the way into past lives, all the way into future lives. And it sees everything about the now in this lifetime. It's not just like an eyeball that just only looks out the center of your forehead. It sees everything in creation. And it needs to be cleansed. It needs to be healed from 300,000 lifetimes of use. And there's a lot of ancestors, there's a lot of projected energies, there's a lot of thought forms, there's a lot of distorted things and entities and that trying to stop and prevent you from being what you need to be. So you need the universe, the Earth Mother, your angels, your guardians, your ancestors, the ones of the future, to really help you clean this up and remove any distortions. Drop down into your throat chakra. Ask to heal the throat chakra. So you're meant to channel whatever it is in healing, and that you're meant to use your throat chakra. That's the first chakra. And that needs to get healed. So whatever you're doing on this planet, you're successful. Whatever it is, you're going to help people know or understand. You'll speak, you'll be heard. Then ask God to see through you, hear through you, and speak through you. Because that means you're a channeler, a healer. Whatever it is, that's what you truly are meant to be. It will come through you. Drop down into your higher heart and ask that connection to be stronger, more connected to the Creator. So you always know everything 10 minutes before your brain even understands that. And then drop into your heart chakra, or into your heart and your heart chakra, and ask that be a sacred temple filled with prayers, blessings, angels, guides, spirit, knowledge, wisdom, avatars, teachers, gurus, healers, helpers. Whatever needs to come through you will go wherever it needs to go. And it'll flow out whether you're driving down the road or in a shopping mall or you're at your office. Whatever it is, your heart will be a sacred temple, and God will be sending all kinds of beautiful things through it. You don't have to think about it. If you need to pray for somebody, the prayers will come through. You'll understand and know what to pray. If you need to heal, there'll be angels that'll work through you to help a person to heal, because it's the job of the angels to help you to do that. And many other blessings the Creator can put in your heart if you truly want to do this. Drop into your solar plex. Ask to cut all cords, releasing all things from all other lifetimes, from all the people since you were born. Whatever you absorbed and took on since you first came into this world, release that. It's not yours. Give it back to whoever it belongs to. And ask to get back everything you gave away, everything you threw away in dreams, in creation, through fear. Whatever it is, ask God to bring back all the pieces from every lifetime, other worlds, galaxies. Wherever there's energy you need, ask that it's retrieved and put back in you. You need to be made whole again, to understand who you truly are. And learn to listen to your instincts, learn to listen to your stomach, learn to listen to your intuition. Allow your mind to connect with that. Allow yourself to heal and move past all of these feelings to really figure out and find out who you are. Drop down into your sacral and ask to heal the 3D energies, the old energies you've been creating and manifesting in for many lifetimes. Ask to bring in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Higher energies. New angels, guides, spirits, teachers, healers, helpers, gurus, avatars. All kinds of new energies, colors, flowers. Whatever it is your new of the future. Invite it in. Give it permission to become a part of you. Learn how to work with it. Learn how to hold space and teach others to feel safe in it. and ask the universe to help you to learn to transform into the fourth and fifth dimension in a future that you're meant to be in. They know what it is you need to do. They know how you need to do it. Then drop into your base chakra. Ask to heal all the fears, the worries, the things that are stuck there, that keep you trapped in these loops in the 3D. And then drop into the Earth Mother, asking her to cleanse and take all of these things from your home and your life, even your ancestral stuff. Let the Creator and Earth Mother purify and cleanse and release things for you. Then call her up into your home to bless it. She knows what you need. She knows where you need to be. She knows how to provide for you. Call in her children, the 4-leg, 2-leg, wing ones, free ones, feather ones, standing people, rock people, sky people, water people. Let's call in the sun, moon, and stars. Call in all healers, angels, guides, spirits, healers, helpers, ancestors, gurus, avatars, whatever is supposed to be yours, that are going to bring the most beautiful, best life that you're meant to have. Ask them to come in and be in your home. Be with you wherever you go, day or night. And call in the atoms, electrons, protons, helium, hydrogen, mana, prana, the fire god Ajni. Call in the sun, moon, the rain, the 4 seasons. Call in the spirits of the north, or east, south, west, and north. Call in the future angels and guardians that are only of the highest good, that will help you to manifest and create and free yourself from all these old things, to live the best life and be part of something very beautiful in the future. And ask them to help you to dream and create these things. Really ask for what's yours. And stop trying to take broken things and fix them, being stuck in those old patterns. You've done it for long enough. It's time to do something different. So ask Creator to bless everybody. Bless Cindy and me. We all deserve good things. To help us to fix what is there that we don't understand. To receive the things that will give us the freedom, joy, love, and happiness. That'll attract all the good things. That'll help us with our business, with our lives, with our future. We all need that. And I just ask God to bless you all. Hey. Have a good evening. Thank you again for your support and every other thing. Hopefully what I shared tonight will help you in all kinds of different ways.